Hi guys. Once again, I'm very happy to be with you, but I wish I was there right now in chapel, standing in front of you in the gym, interacting with you, bringing you something to snack on or eat about, maybe even playing a bit of a game before we have our lesson. We're not there. I'm not there. You're not there. We're at home. I'm recording this a day before. But you know what? We're still together. Maybe not physically, but we're together in spirit. And I know that you are excited about what looks like a future in person. With the vaccine becoming a reality, life might get back to normal sooner rather than later. But until that gets there, might I encourage you for the next couple of weeks to just rest. I mean, just rest. Rest your bodies, rest your soul, rest your mind, your head, rest your emotions. Just take a break. Rest is a good thing. It always has been, and it's a part of how God made our world, made us, and it's reflected in what He did. You remember all the way back in Genesis chapter 1 that God, He made us. He made the world. And after 6 days, what does it say He did? Well, you already know the story, don't you? Verse number 2 of chapter 2 says that on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had done, and He rested from all the work that He had done. Now the question I've always wondered is, did God need to rest that day? Was He tired? Do you think that creating us had worn Him out, like it might wear you out to run some laps or do some burpees for Coach Wick? Do you think that He was mentally exhausted, like He had just taken a Mr. Kennan test? Do you think that He was just emotionally drained? I don't think that's true at all. I think that He rested so we would understand the value of rest. You go later through the Old Testament and you see that when God creates His people, gives them His law, when He sets the Jewish people apart, He asks them to rest on the Sabbath day as a reminder of what God had done and as a time to simply be devoted to Him. Rest is a part of life. It's a good part of life. You see, we need a sabbatical. We need time away from our studies, from our teaching. We need time away from our work and our life to reset, to rebuild our energy, our enthusiasm. The next couple of weeks should be a good time of rest for you. I want to encourage you to do a couple things. Take one whole day and just devote it to yourself. I mean, within reason. Do what you need to do to get your head and your heart back where they're supposed to be. I don't think there's anything wrong with what's been going on. I think it's an adjustment. I think it's harder to learn while you're at home than it is when you're around your friends and with your teachers. I think it's easy to take for granted the time you need to spend in that building around those people. When you come back, it'll be a good time. And it'll be a good thing. And it'll be a reminder of what you've missed, even if it was just for a few short weeks. You've been fortunate. You've gotten to go to school more than a whole lot of people in your community and in the surrounding communities. The kids here in Tompkinsville, where I live, were able to go about half the time you did. And I'm not sure about there in Bowling Green, but I'm sure it's pretty close to that. You've been blessed by God with a great opportunity to be in person. And now He's giving you a time to rest. Take advantage of it. One more passage I want you to think about. In Matthew chapter 11, Jesus spends some time talking to us about rest. And this is a spiritual application to what God demonstrated back in Genesis. Matthew chapter 11, starting in verse 28. Jesus says, come to me, all of you who labor, all of you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle, I am lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. I can't help but think about the first bit of chapter 28. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden. The idea of heavy laden there's a burden you're carrying. And I picture those women we see across some third world countries, and they have this giant thing on top of their head, and they're carrying it there. It's a load. Sometimes you see them with this on their head, and they're carrying a baby, and they've got a sack down here. Life can feel like a heavy load sometimes. There can just be a lot that you're facing, and when you're a teenager, life can feel pretty heavy because there's a lot of change going on. Well, this has been a year full of change, a year full of turmoil and upheaval, a year that has challenged people who knew what they were doing and people who are still trying to figure it out. How appropriate is it that Jesus says, "You come to me, I will give you rest." In this time of upheaval and turmoil, it's our faith that allows us to remain calm, to not be overly concerned with tomorrow, because I know what happens if tomorrow is my worst day. And I know who will be there with me if tomorrow is my worst day. And I know who will help me one day find rest if the rest of my life is full of work and labor and a heavy load. Hebrews chapter 4, the entire chapter is devoted to Jesus providing a better rest for us. And the analogy is when the Jews crossed the Jordan River. When Joshua took all of those who had marched and marched and marched in the wilderness across the river for rest. Well, Jesus will give us a better rest one day when we who march in this world, who follow his commands, who go where he sends us, who survive the wilderness, when we enter that better rest, well, that'll be the afterlife. That'll be the world to come. So my friends, it's okay to be tired. It's okay to be weary. It's okay to be tired of all the things we're facing. And it's also okay to rest. So enjoy your break. Enjoy the time off. Maybe don't open your computer. Maybe don't watch videos. Maybe just de-stress. Read a book. Watch a movie. Go outside. I don't know. Can you shoot basketball in the cold? Can you bounce on a trampoline? Maybe play some football or ultimate frisbee? Just go do something. And find some rest for your head, for your heart, for your body and your soul. And we'll see you in January. And I bet we'll see you in person. At least that's my hope. And you know what we might find out? That the rest was good for us. So be thankful that today's the last day and tomorrow is your first day of rest. You don't have to have a pillow. You don't have to have a dark room. You don't have to have sleep to rest. Sometimes you just need time alone with you, with your family, with God. You reset and you rest. Be thankful God did it as an example and gives us now time to do it. I always enjoy getting to be with you. I wish I was there with you in person today. Hopefully I will be very, very soon. Have a great break, my friends. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Safe travels. And enjoy your time off. You've earned it. All of you have earned it. See you next year.